Thanks for having me, guys. This is really amazing. What a great event you guys put on. Very cool. Okay, so recruiting. I don't know if that's everybody's favorite word or their worst word. I've run into very few people that actually enjoy doing it. And it's funny, I had my own company for 20 years and I recruited myself about 700 agents into that company. And when I sold my company to First Team, one of my first thoughts was like, thank God I never have to do any recruiting ever again. And then I started as the chief operating officer, was running operations, and realized that I actually really like recruiting. I really missed it, and I was really good at it. And I think it's an art. It's not a science. That the founder of our company, his name is Cam, and he loves systems. And he's always like, if you just have a system for recruiting, and I agree that you need a system for most things, but recruiting is an art. It is a different type of way of interacting and meeting with people. It's a lot like farming, in the fact that you're building a pipeline and you're trying to get people to trust you and you're building relationships, and then you're trying to close a deal. So it is a lot like farming, but we recruited almost $1 billion as a company in 2024. And me, myself, and my partner, Anna, recruited 500 million of that by ourselves. So we are recruiting machines because there's nothing better than like closing a deal. I mean, I'm sure you guys have the same feeling when you're, closing an escrow. It's the same kind of thing. But I really do feel like it's changing people's lives when they come work with me. Like, I'm going to change their lives. I take it personally. I take it very serious. And I want to make people have better careers. If you want to recruit and you want to build a team, then that's what it has to be about. It can't be about the money. It can't be about, making yourself appear to be bigger or greater or whatever. It has to be like, I want to help people build careers. The best thing about real estate is you can make more money than a plastic surgeon with a GED. I mean, that's the best thing about real estate. So if you're excited about it and you believe in it and you want to see people grow, then recruiting is the best way to kind of like have something outside yourself. There's great when you're a real estate agent and you're finding people their dream home, they can raise their family, and that's wonderful. But finding somebody their dream career that's going to change their lives, that's amazing. So I believe in it. I love it. And that's why even when I got to the point where I didn't have to recruit anymore, I went back to recruiting anyways. So a couple of things about recruiting that you need to know is that there's really nobody that can do it better than you can. So there's two issues. There's the caller. There's the person who's going to set you up with an appointment, and then there's you, who's the closer. Now, in the beginning, you're probably going to do both. Oh, one thing I want to go back, like why recruit, why build a team? And the reason I tell people that this is having a team, recruiting, having people that are going to replace you is the best thing to do, is because eventually you'll have your production replaced. Like, you don't have to sell as much anymore. So when you're, 60, 70, 80 years old, whatever, hopefully your team is producing and you're kind of taking it easy and your team is replacing your production. It also gives you something that's sellable. When it's you doing all the production, your production, then nobody's going to buy that. If you have 20 agents doing 50% of the production, so you can leave and 50% of the production is still producing, somebody can buy that. Okay. So when you start, there's two elements of it. I mean, there's really three. There's the call, there's the presentation, there's the close. So calling is the worst part of recruiting, in my opinion. So of course, when I first started, I was doing all my own calling. I I was doing cold calling. I was doing showing up at broker previews. I was the stalker that everybody kind of like ran the other way when they saw me coming because they knew I was going to try and recruit them. So that's not always the best way to be. If you can hire a caller and have somebody set up appointments for you, then that is ideal. But it has to be like a certain type of person. It has to be somebody who is great on the phone, and you'll probably go through 5 or 6 of them before you find the right person. I found my soulmate in Anna. She is amazing, the most prolific person on the phone you could possibly imagine. She sets me up with meetings. She's now involved in the meetings. She started off as a caller, and now she's actually does the meetings with me, and she does the follow-up for me too. So it's now that I have her, I wouldn't be able to do the 500 million without her. She's amazing. And yes, somebody just chatted about Shiloh. She uses Shiloh. All the callers in our company use Shiloh, and that helps them really like refine their script and get better and better and better as they go on. So okay, so having a caller make the calls, or you making the calls, God forbid, and then your presentation, and then closing them. So when you talk about the presentation or even the call, even the reason that they're gonna meet with you in the first place, everybody kind of thinks, well, recruiting is about getting saving them money, or being the cheaper option, or making sure that they get more per deal. But that's not what recruiting is about. People do not move companies so they can be with the cheapest company that exists. They move companies because they want to grow, because they feel like they're stuck and they want to grow. So the only way to really make somebody leave their broker, their manager, their company, the people that they feel the most comfortable with, and everybody gets comfortable at a certain point, is to show them that they're not growing the way they could, and they'd be growing with you. So success is the only thing that is getting people to leave, not being the cheapest. Don't make it a race to the bottom. Don't think you have to give away the store. Don't think you have to put people on 100%. They can be on much, much lower splits, especially when they're on a team and they're getting that personalized attention and maybe leads, but you don't have to provide leads. It's not a race to the best split. It is showing them that you can grow. So how do you show them you can grow? Well, the value is showing them that you've done it before. So that can be difficult for some people, and that can be easy for some people. So I have these 2 slides. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, this is a team that I hired as brand new agents. That cute little girl right there in the middle, she started me as a brand new agent. She grew her volume to 64 million in sales, and now they're at 140 million in sales. This is another team that came over from Compass. I actually hired him as a brand new agent. He left me, went to Compass, but then came back, which is a huge compliment. And he went from 50 million in sales. Now he's at 170 million in sales. So did I do that? Am I what made those people successful? I mean, I've been there for them. I've helped them. I've given them tips. I've coached them, but they were successful. They were gonna be successful no matter what. That's something that I think a lot of people have a hard time kind of taking credit for other people's success, because we all believe that people are successful because they are who they are. But you have your coaching, your mentoring has helped those people. And even if it's only helped them 10%, you need to take credit. Now say, all right, I have a team, but I've never helped anybody grow. I'm a solo agent. I want to build a team. I've never helped anybody grow. I've had managers tell me this all the time. I've had a manager in one of my offices who says, I want to be known as the coach that helps teams grow. And I said, okay, who's the most successful team in your office? And he told me who it is. Call that person, that team leader, and say, I want to coach you free of charge. We'll meet, once a week, once a month, and just I'll help you get to the next level. Just, give me a half hour once a month. And they'll take it, because everybody wants a coach. And then once you start coaching that team, then you take credit for that team. So you need to build your credibility by showing agents what you have done. And the more you insert yourself into somebody else's production, the more you learn how to help somebody get from A to B to C and each level higher. You learn that. And then also you take credit for it. You're like, when I met this person, they were at this. And then we coached for 3 months and they went to this. And we coached for another 6 months and they went to this. So it's something that you have to do for free. You have to give away, and then you're going to get it in return because you're going to build your credibility. Talking about giving away. I think it's really important to give away your training. It's important to give away your coaching. It's important to give away on social media, your tips, your tricks. You know, nobody's going to do it as good as you do. There's no secret sauce in real estate. Everything is pipeline, you know, closing. I mean, everybody does, you know, some version of the same thing. So there's no secrets. Don't worry about giving away secrets. Give away your secrets so you can be a thought leader in the industry. Show people the way, show them how you work, how you run your business, what you do, and people will be attracted to that. You can do it on social media. I use Descript too. I put out the worst videos ever known to man. If you look at my Instagram, they're terrible. They're, you know, I just, you know, you can see in Descript when you like delete a sentence, how it just like skips, like a real hard skip. I have nobody that edits for me. I just go in there. I say what I want to say. I put it in Descript. I slightly edit. I put it up there. It's not perfect. I know there's people that probably cringe when they see it. I know my marketing department cringes and they're like, can you please let us make a professional video for you? But I don't need to. I think authenticity, like what you guys were saying before, is hugely important. Give it away. Go on there, become somebody that people will turn to when they want knowledge about the real estate industry. That's going to attract people. Then when you call, or then when your caller calls and says, hey, you know, I want to meet with you, or Michele Harrington wants to meet with you, they're gonna be like, oh, Michele Harrington, I've seen her on Instagram with the terrible videos. You know, so but they know that you know what you're talking about. I mean, the point is giving away your knowledge. Another way to give your knowledge is to have trainings, you know, have mastermind groups, invite people from all over, invite people from outside the company. I have one manager who has live in-person meetings once a week, and he invites somebody he's in his pipeline, somebody he's trying to recruit to his meetings. And he says, every person that goes to his meetings ends up joining his office because his meetings are amazing. So if you have the knowledge and you know what you're talking about, have those meetings, invite people that are in your pipeline that you want to target, and they will join you because they want to grow and they want to learn and they want to emulate you. So of course they're going to want to join you. A couple of things as far as like tools and tech we use Follow Up Boss for recruiting. We use it as our CRM. Our deals, in the deals section of Follow Up Boss, is basically our appointments, our agents that were no-shows, agents that showed, follow up, and closing. So that's what our deals look like. We use Corded, which is really amazing software for finding out what agents are doing, what companies they've been with, how long they've been with that company, because a lot of times there's a trend. So an agent might be with a company for 3 years, and every 3 years they change companies. So you can see that trend and like, oh, they're at the 3-year mark, they're going to probably change companies. You can see their trajectory. Are they going up? Are they going down? You can see where they sell. So do they sell in, Rancho Cucamonga and their office is in Seal Beach? That might be somebody that you want to target because they're so far away. They have scripts in Corded. Thanks, Jeff. So Corded, and they use AI to tell you who is most likely to leave. So if you're thinking, I want to only target people that are, as far as the algorithm goes, is most likely to leave, then you can do that. So, and then of course, Shiloh, and Shiloh we use for all of our callers, and that kind of like sets them up so that they get the confidence that they need every time that they're making a call, that they're, you know, what their grades are, how are they doing on the call, if they need more energy on the call, if they need to tone it down, if they need to talk less, if they need to talk more. So that's a game changer for our callers. And then show, don't tell. You know, have your 2 slides, like your credibility, the people that you've helped, your track record. And I think that is about it.